Nothing wakes you up like a bulldozer. Not a rooster, not an alarm, just 3 tons of steel clawing at your driveway before you've had your coffee. That's how my war with the Crestview Pines HOA began, led by Monica Vance, a woman who wielded a clipboard like it was Excalibur. She thought she could erase my driveway and slap me with an $18,000 fine for encroaching on her turf. What she didn't know was that I, Nathan Wells, spent 30 years as the county surveyor, drawing the very maps she was misusing. And the kicker? Her precious clubhouse was built on my land. If you've ever dodged an HOA meeting that feels like a shakedown with stale donuts, grab a drink, this story's for you. I moved to my grandfather's farm in Crestview, Colorado, to retire, not to star in a neighborhood showdown. After losing my wife, Emily, to cancer, the city's noise felt suffocating. The farm wasn't fancy, but its creaking barn and quiet fields let me grieve in peace. I fixed fences, leveled the porch, and planted a garden where I could water the soil with tears if I needed to. Then the HOA showed up. It started small. A notice about my non-compliant fence, same one keeping deer out since 1975. Then my mailbox was 3 inches too tall. The best was the unauthorized wildlife congregation. Apparently, sparrows in my oak tree threatened Crestview's aesthetic harmony. I framed that one. But these weren't random gripes. Monica was testing me, probing for weakness. When I ignored her letters, she dropped the bomb. A certified letter demanding $18,000 in retroactive access fees for my driveway, built by my grandfather in 1964, claiming it encroached on HOA property. Crestview Pines didn't even exist until 2006. I showed the letter to my neighbor, Sarah Coleman, a retired editor with a knack for sniffing out nonsense. "This woman's unhinged," Sarah said, nearly choking on her tea. "She's not protecting anything, she's building a fiefdom." Sarah told me Monica once fined a 90-year-old widow for a non-approved windshield and threatened a family with eviction over a kid's lemonade stand. Her name wasn't on most property titles, but her ego was a skyscraper backed by forged authority. That morning, the bulldozers arrived. I stepped onto my porch, coffee mug in hand, as the ground shook. 3 machines tore at my gravel driveway, led by Monica in a tailored suit, clutching a clipboard like it was a scepter. "Mr. Wells, you've ignored our notices," she barked. "This access point is being removed." I blinked, still processing. "This driveway's been here since before you were born. You're on my land." She waved a folder of documents. "You owe $18,000 in fees. We're being generous." Generous? I almost laughed, but the roar of engines and the nervous glance of a hard-hat worker stopped me. This wasn't a mistake, it was a power play. Monica thought I was a tired old man she could bully. She didn't know I'd mapped every inch of this county for 3 decades, signing off on every parcel, road, and ditch, including the one she was destroying. Her documents were a lie, and I knew it. I smiled, not out of joy, but because I remembered every boundary line I'd ever drawn. If Monica wanted a fight over land, she'd picked the wrong driveway and the wrong man. I didn't yell. Rage builds nothing but noise. Instead, I studied her documents. The signature was supposedly mine, the stamp county approved. But the N in my name was off a sloppy curve no surveyor would miss after 30 years of signing plats. The survey amendment claimed I'd approved a boundary shift, moving 25 feet of my driveway under HOA control. The stamps were outdated, the notary's signature a digital font. It was a forgery so bold it was almost art. Monica hadn't just faked a document, she'd plagiarized my career. I called my old colleague, Tom Harper, at the county clerk's office. "Bring those papers and coffee," he said. "We're digging." In the records room, we pulled microfilm like it was 1990. Within hours, we found 3 discrepancies between Monica's plat and the 1964 original. This wasn't a clerical error, it was deliberate. Sarah, meanwhile, called former Crestview residents. Stories flooded in. A veteran fined into bankruptcy over a flagpole, a teacher penalized for a non-compliant lawn chair, a family bullied over a visually disruptive garden. Monica wasn't running an HOA, was running a racket. Then came the twist. Comparing satellite imagery with historical plats, Tom and I discovered Crestview's clubhouse, tennis courts, and parts of 6 homes including Monica sat on Wells family land. A lazy surveyor in 2004 had misdrawn the boundary, letting Crestview encroach 35 feet onto my property. The woman finding me for my mailbox was trespassing with her entire patio. It was poetic, like catching a thief lecturing you about locks. Monica's arrogance was her downfall. She never checked if her own ground was hers. I had leverage now, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind backed by deeds and stamps. This wasn't just about my driveway, Anna Maria, it was about every neighbor she'd crushed. I didn't want revenge, I wanted a reckoning. Monica doubled down. After I sent a notarized cease and desist letter, she called an emergency HOA meeting to propose a bylaw fining uncooperative residents. Sarah, who'd been documenting Monica's reign like a true crime podcast, leaked the news. The meeting room was packed, residents, curious and fed up, ready to watch. Monica arrived in heels that screamed lawsuit, her blouse practically notarized. She accused me of undermining community values, claimed my driveway threatened property values, even suggested I planned a junkyard. The crowd shifted, not buying it. Sarah's whispers and my paper trail had spread doubt. I stood, calm, with original plats and forged surveys. Monica's documents are fake, I said, showing timestamps and my mismatched signature. Gasps echoed when I revealed the clubhouse sat on my land. Monica laughed, but it was hollow. This is ridiculous, she snapped. He's scaring you. Then Ellen Carter, an HOA board member, stood. I want to hear more. The room turned. Neighbors murmured, one clutching his deed. Monica unraveled, yelling at Sarah for spying, accusing the county of a conspiracy, even snapping at a kid filming on his phone. Her empire crumbled, not with a bang, but with whispers and facts. Sheriff Daniel Cole arrived the next morning. Monica paced the clubhouse steps, still gripping her clipboard. MS. Vance, we have evidence of forged records, illegal claims, and obstruction, Daniel said, holding a manila envelope. This is a criminal matter, and you're standing on Mr. Wells' land. Her clipboard hit the ground. She stammered about harassment and HOA rights, but Daniel's calm authority silenced her. The arrest wasn't the end, it was the spark. Crestview changed. Residents talked again. The board reformed under Ellen, with Sarah's notes shaping new, sane bylaws. Tom helped rewrite them pro bono. I didn't sue. Instead, I planted a garden on the disputed line, roses, tomatoes, and a scarecrow named Monica too, made of clipboards. I offered to sell the overlapping land to the HOA for $1, on one condition. It became a shared space, no fees or rules about unauthorized birds. They agreed, and that patch of grass, once a battleground, became a community haven. Mark, the veteran fined for his flag, grew peppers and wept when they ripened, saying they tasted like freedom. I came to retire, to heal. Instead, I sparked a quiet revolution. Change slipped in, not with lawsuits, but with a well-drawn line and the courage to say enough. Crestview stopped fearing clipboards. We swapped violation notices for cookouts, and the only fine is missing Sarah's apple pie. Justice, when slow, lasts. Power isn't yelling, it's knowing your truth and having the receipts. Monica learned that the hard way, standing on my land, her forged map useless. If you've faced a Monica, leave a comment. Where are you fighting your HOA? Like, subscribe, and keep your deed handy. Next time, we're tackling backyard chickens, a rogue goat, and a Karen who learns why you don't mess with someone's farm.